Day number 2 of mandatory Chicago Bears minicamp is in the books, and Caleb Williams, Tremaine Edmunds, and even Velus Jones made some fantastic plays today at practice. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears offseason update video. The Bears have one more day of mandatory minicamp practice tomorrow. After that, they're off for about a month until training camp in mid-July. I'll be having a lot of videos out for training camp as well. I'll also be at training camp a couple days to give you guys some more eyewitness reports from me and my perspective rather than reading about the reporters' perspectives. But thank you, first of all. I do want to say thank you to you guys for watching these practice videos, because I've been doing a lot more views on my videos recently than I have in a long time, probably because people are so excited about Caleb Williams. So thank you to Caleb for bringing excitement to the Chicago Bears fan base, but also thank you to you guys for tuning into these videos and leaving your comments down below. But let's get into what happened at practice today. And first of all, talking about the attendance. So according to Zach Pearson, he said that everybody except Braxton Jones was there. Cole Kmet, Tyler Scott, Dante Pettis, and Colin Johnson were there but did not practice. And Nate Davis was there as well and did one team portion of practice. So good to see Nate Davis get that team practice in, although only one session. And then Patrick Finley said, Eberflus said Jones and Kmet were out for precautionary reasons. They'll be good for summer conditioning. So good to hear the injuries on Braxton Jones and Cole Kmet are nothing too serious. It's June right now, so there's no reason to risk anything if you don't have to. So, good to see those players are going to be back pretty soon. And good to see Nate Davis practicing as well, guys. I know a lot of Bears fans have been ripping on Nate Davis, but if he can stay healthy for training camp and play the majority of the training camp, maybe he could have a bounce back 2024 season and shut all of us up. But getting to what actually happened in practice. So according to the reporters there, it seemed like, again, it was split between the offense and the defense in terms of success, but both sides of the ball made a lot of big-time plays. Talking about the offense, first of all. So according to Zach Pearson, he said the Bears' offense was better in 11-on-11s today than they were in 7-on-7s. Keenan Allen was back out there and caught a few passes from Caleb Williams. And then Sean Hammond talked about a very good play by Caleb Williams to Velus Jones. So he said Caleb Williams unleashed a perfect deep ball for Velus Jones Jr. during 7-on-7s. He hit Jones in stride for a touchdown. Easily the best deep ball we've seen from Williams all spring. Patrick Finley said similar things. He said pretty decent day for Caleb Williams today. Highlight a deep ball touchdown down the right sideline to Velus Jones. And Moriana provided a little bit more detail. He said that Williams hit Velus Jones for a 40-yard touchdown down the right sideline. Terrell Smith was in coverage on the play, and Jones got behind the Bears defensive back. So love to see Caleb and the offense having a pretty good day. It seemed like they were better in 11-on-11s versus 7-on-7s, which is fine. I mean, real football is played with 11 men on each side, so it's good that they were better in that session, I feel like, than the 7-on-7s, although you probably should be better in the 7-on-7s because that's usually easier for the offense. But regardless, I mean, good to see Caleb, hitting that deep ball down the right sideline to Velus Jones. I'm glad that Velus Jones is still getting involved in this offense, because I do actually think he is going to make the team because of the new kick return rules, where it's going to encourage bringing the ball out again, and we're going to see a lot more kick returns next season. And if you don't have a difference maker at that position, that's going to be a loss for your team. And I know that Velus Jones has had issues with fumbling the ball, but that's only really been on punt returns. In regards to kick returns, he's been pretty solid there. Okay, in 2022, he actually ranked third in the NFL in average yards per kick return. Now, last year in 2023, he barely took any back because, nobody really took any back with how the rules were regarding kick returns in 2023, but in 2024, everything is changing. So I do think Velus is going to make the team for that reason, and he's going to get maybe a couple plays here and there throughout the course of the season where he's going to get a chance to come down with the deep ball down the field or take a jet sweep, 5 or 6 yards for the first down or something like that. He's not going to be a big factor on the Bears starting offense probably, but there are going to be some plays here and there where he could be involved. And if he does have a good camp and get his confidence back that he had in college football, maybe there is still hope for Velus Jones. I don't have crazy high expectations for him, obviously, but if he can keep making plays in camp in preseason too, maybe there is still hope for him in the NFL. Also, the Bears offense had a better time in 2-minute drills than they did yesterday. Yesterday, they were terrible in 2-minute drills. The defense got them to punt basically every single time. But according to Sean Hammond, in 2-minute drill, Caleb Williams led the Bears to a field goal. He connected with DJ Moore for a big completion down the sideline to get into field goal range. Not sure what the rest of the 2-minute period was like, but at least they did get some points on the board in these 2-minute drills, which sometimes can be hard, especially for a rookie quarterback still learning the playbook, the cadence. It can be pretty difficult when everything is sped up a lot and you have to make a play immediately, but hopefully Caleb gets better and better at doing this as the offseason progresses. I'm sure in training camp he's going to have many opportunities to get better at doing this, and as will the rest of the Bears offense. But overall, a pretty solid day from the Bears offense. Looked like Keenan Allen made some plays. DJ Moore made some plays. Did not really hear about many plays to Roma Dunze, but that's fine. I mean, every receiver is not going to get a crazy amount of catches every single practice or every single game for that matter too, with how many weapons we have on this offense. But I do want to talk about the defense now and some plays that they made. And Tremaine Edmunds made the best play on defense. According to Moriano, he said that Tremaine Edmunds intercepted Caleb Williams in the middle of the field. There was a lot of traffic in the area and Edmunds got himself a pick. Courtney Cronin said that Caleb Williams and the offense had a better day, but still several learning moments for the quarterback who threw an interception to Tremaine Edmunds in 7-on-7. And we don't have video of this currently. I'm sure the Bears are going to post video on their social media page later tonight, so be on the lookout for that. But good to see Tremaine Edmunds getting himself a pick. I mean, he has those long arms and that wingspan that makes it very difficult going over the middle of the field for opposing quarterbacks. I'm happy that Caleb is getting the opportunity to go up against some of the best here in terms of, the defense that we have and the athletes that we have on this defense, because he's trying to see what he can get away with in the NFL. And obviously not every opposing defender is going to have the long arms that Tremaine Edmunds has, but I do think there's so much value for a rookie quarterback to go up against the best athletes in practice. So when the games start, it should hopefully be a lot easier. And I'm very excited for how our linebacking core is going to build off of 2023, because they had a very good 2023 for the most part, especially guys like TJ Edwards. He had an insane amount of tackles, and Tremaine Edmunds made some big time interceptions in the second half of that season. So if they can keep building off of that, we also have Jack Sanborn in there, Noah Sewell in there as well, who didn't really play that much last year, but maybe he gets more opportunities this year. The Bears could have one of the better linebacking cores in all of football, which is only going to boost our already pretty good defense. And it seems like our defense is making life very difficult for the Bears offense in practice, because Keenan Allen said after practice yesterday that they look like a top 5 defense. They sound like a top 5 defense too. And he talked about how annoying it was to go up against the Bears defenders. And I love hearing stuff like that, because the competitiveness, the egos on both sides are only going to make the Chicago Bears better as a whole. And Keenan Allen is no rookie, okay? He's been in the NFL for some long time. So for him to be saying these things about the Bears defense does mean a lot, okay? I don't think it's just a case of a teammate hyping up his other teammates. Like, he has gone up against some bad defenses in practice before with the LA Chargers. I'm sure he's having a much tougher time going up against the Bears defense in practice this year. And all the trash talk that guys like Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon are doing is going to prepare the Bears offense for life in the NFL, because there's a lot of guys on opposing defenses that do love to talk a lot of trash and get in your head. So it's good to practice against your teammates. Next story I want to talk about is the punter, Tory Taylor. Again, I know I talked about the punter yesterday, and back-to-back reports about the punter seems excessive, but guys, I have to talk about him because he keeps on impressing at practice. According to Herb Howard, he said that, no doubt, talking about Tory Taylor, he put on an absolute clinic, had 4 punts down inside the 5, including one he bounced out at the 1 yard line, and another that was caught in the air by the coverage team at the 1 yard line. He had an additional 3 punts down inside the 10, and it was a windy day at Hallis. This kid is a weapon. I've never been so damn excited about a punter, okay? I know that we don't want to see him punt that much necessarily, but when he is going to be punting, he's going to be must-see TV. I mean, there's no part about the Bears right now that's boring. Not even the punter is going to be boring, because this dude consistently can pin opponents inside the 10-yard line, the 5-yard line, even the 1-yard line. He got the ball to bounce out at the 1 today. The amount of control he has on the ball is like generational. Like, I'm not even kidding. This guy can move the ball while it's in the air, it seems like, and get to stop right where he wants it to stop. And I've never seen anything like this. So I know some of you guys may be annoyed I'm talking about the punter so much, but these punter reports will keep on coming during training camp as well, because I'm very, very excited to see this Australian punter punt for the Chicago Bears. And the last story I do want to talk about, which is not any new update, but more of just a talking point that I want to discuss, is, are the Bears going to do anything about the edge rusher spot? Because reportedly, Ryan Poles does want to sign another edge rusher, just according to rumors we've seen floating around on Twitter. And I think that does make a lot of sense, because right now the edge depth on the roster is not really that good. Okay, if Montez Sweat goes down, we're kind of screwed. But at this point, you're obviously not going to get a high-level starter via free agency. But there's still some guys out there, like Calais Campbell, who's pretty old but very productive during his career. And also Yannick Ngakoue, who already knows the system, wasn't that good last year. But when Montez Sweat came in, he did have a few sacks. you know, down the stretch before he got hurt. I just wonder what the Bears are going to do at that spot. I think we could see a move coming right before training camp, just like we saw last year when we signed Unique Ngakoue, I believe a couple days before training camp or during training camp, something like that. So be on the lookout for a move to come there. Maybe a trade could happen as well. I know Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals is reportedly on the trade block, but I think it would take a lot to trade for him. He's been a very productive player for the Bengals, but would be a crazy acquisition for the Bears. But leave your thoughts down below, guys. Who do you guys want to sign at edge to round out this defensive line? And let me know your thoughts down below about today's practice as well. I'll be back with one final video tomorrow. As always, guys, bear down.